Hello Factorio people, welcome back to the broadcast from Space Age. A semi-streamlined playthrough, walkthrough, let's play, tutorial, long play, all of the words. Last time we started our adventures, continued our adventures in quality, and this time we're going to continue our adventures in quality. I'm playing on the experimental branch as I always have, and in the patch notes there is this little thing that says extended the virtual signals and unified /change graphics of some of the existing ones. So all of my signals now look different. So if you're wondering why they look different to your version, it's because I'm on the experimental branch, which you can get access to via Steam if you like. I won't go through that, but it's very easy to do, just Google it. So if anything looks odd to you, that's what it is. Okay, and with that small piece of housekeeping out of the way, let's jump straight into it, shall we? I forgot to mention that if you want to do the old like, comment, subscribe, that would be great. We're here on Vulcanus with our low density structure upcycling, which is farming us steel and copper, legendary steel and copper in extremely modest quantities. We've also got some, but not much, iron production going on, just from what we can get sent down via asteroids, which also isn't very much. It's very easy for us to get asteroids, but we're kind of bottlenecked by just how many asteroids we can process. So I felt like the best thing to do right now that we've got some of this stuff quite easily, is to just craft some legendary crushers, because they have a crafting speed of 2.5 compared to 1. So that would effectively turn these 24 into, what's that, 60 crushers. That's pretty good, right? We've got everything available to do that for us. We just need some electric engine units, which are very easy because that's just iron and steel, which we have. Electric engine units then need some electronic circuits, which we can also do. That's all very, very easy. Somebody else, big shout out to... Oh no, I should have brought this up. Big shout out to the user who let me know that if you put legendary calcite into the... Just opening YouTube Studio on my phone. If you put legendary calcite into the recipe from... Here are the new signals, by the way, aren't they nice? Oh god, oh god. Please, YouTube, me, sort it out. This recipe into the molten copper from lava recipe, or even the molten iron from lava recipe, but the molten copper from lava recipe is the one that you want. If you put legendary calcite in, you get legendary stone out, which is obvious to me now that someone said it, but like at the time, how on earth does YouTube Studio on mobile work? Like, this is ridiculous. Dashboard. No, content. Videos. Who's uploaded all this Raichi Mahjong to the channel? Who did that? WDL 1908. Legendary calcite can be used to create legendary stone with the molten copper recipe. Thank you so much for that information. Sorry it took me 10 minutes to thank you. So we just need to upscale all this kind of stuff, really. And if we can get legendary stone as well, we can get legendary stone bricks, and then we can very easily get legendary concrete, because we've got lots of legendary iron ore anyway. Legendary concrete's good because it goes into rocket silos, which is very nice. It goes into refined concrete, of course, which can help us make legendary electromagnetic plants eventually, once we get Holmium done. Legendary biolabs, that's a bit far away. Legendary foundries, not too far away really, all things considered. So yeah, we're just going to basically continue the quality experiment here on Vulcanus. He's handcrafting things like a madman in Assembly Machine Mark IIs for some reason. One day I will install the even distribution mod. So we've got these electric engine units, that's good. Steel and low density structures we can get very easily up here. Just need to stockpile some of the legendary low density structures rather than crushing them, which I should be doing. I thought I was doing that. Yes, I am. Good. This makes so many of these. It's absurd. We're on 160% productivity at the moment with base quality productivity module Mark 3s. This very quickly gets out of hand. That's probably enough of those, right? 20 each. What did I say I wanted? 24 of them. Yeah, that's probably enough. So this will get our asteroid crushing done very, very nicely. We're still bottlenecked at the moment by coal, legendary coal, because we are making legendary coal via the coal synthesis recipe, which is sulfur and carbon, which we do get from the asteroid farming, of course, but it's in much lower quantities than everything else that you need. So like this is 20 iron ore plus we're on 90% productivity. This is only 5 carbon and 2 sulfur with 90% productivity. 5 carbon and 2 sulfur is what, 1 piece of coal? Where did I put it? There it is. It's 1 piece of coal with a bit of sulfur left over, so it's really not all that. So in the back of my mind I'm trying to think of a good way to get legendary carbon and coal, and I do have an idea, and I do explore that idea, but don't hold your breath on that one. But I will show you. I will at least show you. So we get the legendary crushers up, and then really the next thing that we want is just to get quality module productivity 3s in legendary quality. That is eminently doable. We need to have a base line production chain here with some of this stuff, just to get the simple ingredients. You know, the advanced circuits, the processing units, the prod module Mark 2s, not a problem. Obviously legendary biter eggs is going to need some work, but we can do that. We can do that. Let me just use my rate calculator mod here just to drag over this. So about 81. Well, a single one can process. A single crusher can process 27 asteroids, and it will spit out about 10.8 asteroids back. Plus 5.4 of the other 2 asteroids. So this is like extremely efficient, this system. I know I spoke about it in the last episode, but we can make this even better by upgrading the crushers. So we'll just wait for those crushers to get built, and we'll send them up to the space platform. Here they are. We don't have enough legendary quality module Mark 3s to fill them all, but at this point, you know, it's marginal difference in quality. 9.4 versus 12.4, 3%. When you're processing this many, that's not really that helpful. If anything, I should probably take the legendary ones out and use them for something else. The ship does undergo a small redesign, because as it's going backwards and forwards at pace, now that it's no longer stopping to do stuff very often, it is just going backwards and forwards. We do need a lot more ammo than this. This does not keep up. If we go into the production chart... No. Asteroid farming. Excuse me? What's it called? Why is it not there? Firearm magazine. It's not actually called ammunition. Wow, today I learned. This makes 150 a minute at its peak. It definitely runs out. I don't know exactly what happens. I think also, to some degree, we were bottlenecked at one point by not making enough fuel, so we weren't going very fast very often. It needed a tweak, basically. It needed a tweak. There's also something to be said for the order that you put these processing things in. So like by doing it like this, you do pick up a lot of the metallic asteroids early. But if any of these spit out a metallic asteroid, they have to go all the way back around. Whereas if you stagger them, if you have a system that's like metallic, ice, carbon, metallic, ice, carbon, and then you just put the high quality ones at the end, that, in theory, sounds like it would be marginally better. But I'm not entirely sure. That's like a whole PhD thesis worth of maths there that I'm just not going to do. I'm handcrafting some Prod Module Mark IIs here. Mostly because they're very nice to have. If we look at the Factorio, every time I do this, right, every single time, I'm so used to doing alt-click on something that I want to open the Factoriopedia for, that when I'm in this recipe and I want to open the Factoriopedia and Prod Module Mark IIs, I hold alt and I click, and for some ungodly reason, that thinks that I'm alt-clicking the land behind this menu. You know, so if I like line this up exactly with this foundry and alt-click it, no, it's just always a tile, is it? Is that a bug? You can just click it to get to the Factoriopedia for that, but like, I feel like they should change that and make alt-click also do the same thing. I'll file a bug report on that one, maybe. Anyway, if we look at the Factoriopedia, Quality Module Mark III's productivity at the normal quality is 10%, whereas a Legendary Prod 2 is 15%. So we're already better off using some of these. So I'm just doing the old hand feeding thing here, which, you know, it's my want. I can do what I want, you can't tell me otherwise. And we'll just hand feed our way to some Productivity Module Mark IIs, but of course we can't make the Productivity Module Mark IIIs until we get biter eggs sorted. And that's going to require egg upcycling, which is not really a phrase I thought that people would have to say in the game of Factorio, but alas, here we are. So let's go back to Nauvis and do that, because the only way to do that is on Nauvis, and we'll take some productivity modules with us, I think. Or maybe we'll leave them here. I can't remember. Maybe we'll leave them here. But like the first thing to do really is to just replace anything key to this scenario. So the plastic, for example, the legendary low density structures, everything else has quality modules in, but everything that's got productivity modules in at the moment, swap the Mark IIIs out for legendary Mark IIs, and that is a bonus. That is a bonus. I am also just going to start getting rid of the epic stuff. There is a case to be made to keep the epic stuff, and because at least, because you know, even epic Prod Module 2s are 11% productivity. But I'm just going to skip over basically everything. Now that we've got an ability to get legendary items from scratch, we may as well just not even bother. And that might be a small criticism I have with the game, is that quality's all well and good, but you can pretty much just skip over uncommon and rare. You never really need to use it. Like this playthrough is an example of that. It's just not really... The benefits of uncommon and rare are just not... Even things that everyone says are, you know, I've spoken about this briefly before, even things that everyone says are extremely powerful in comparison, you know. Asteroid collectors. Does it look like we need more asteroid collecting on this? Did any of our ships ever have a problem with getting enough asteroids? No, they didn't. Oh well. Okay, we're back on Nauvis. What do we do? What do we want to do? Well, we want captive biter spawners. And we want to take the eggs from the captive biter spawners and either recycle them or, in a more accurate way, find the high quality ones. That's how I'm justifying this in universe. The recycler is not technically recycling the eggs, it's just sorting through them and finding the high quality ones. So we do the old upcycling system which we're used to. Don't do that. Please don't do that. I don't want eggs randomly flying around the base, thank you. A normal crusher, unfortunately with the legendary, the epic and legendary quality modules in, slow the speed down. This is capable of sorting through 38.4 eggs a minute. Whereas one captive biter spawner can make 30 eggs a minute. Bioflux is extremely free for us now. Like, the Glebber shuttle is currently just flying backwards and forwards. Even if we're not using the science, it's either bringing the agricultural science packs or the Bioflux, depending on what exactly we need at the time. The Bioflux is extremely free. Like, Glebber is ticking over. Nothing has gone wrong on Glebber for a long time. Bioflux is solved, in my opinion. Captive biter spawners are also extremely cheap, really. Capture bot rockets are not expensive at all. I'm going to sneeze. Thank you. Capture bot rockets are not expensive at all. And then you put those into this captive biter spawner recipe. Obviously, once you've got some eggs, you've got eggs forever, which is also an idiom. It's also a parable. Once a man has eggs, he has eggs forever. Yeah, think about it. 15 uranium-235 is obviously not a problem because we've been Covarex enriching our uranium for a million years now, and we are on 2, 3, 4, 5 full chests of uranium here, so that's obviously not a problem either. The only real issue is the fluoroketone, but we asked the Aquila shuttle to just stockpile fluoroketone for us for this exact reason, because you never know when you're going to need some fluoroketone somewhere. Same thing with the fusion reactors if we suddenly need a burst of power somewhere, because let's not forget that the modules are extremely power hungry. 80% energy consumption for each one that you put in. Yikes. So we may as well build a lot of captive biter spawners. But that means we're going to need a lot of recyclers. So before we go on this endeavour, I have the bright idea of going back to Folgora and just doing some quick upcycling for epic and legendary recyclers, because they have a base crafting speed of 0.5, which is quite slow, whereas an epic and legendary one, you know, you're almost doubling. If you get some epic and some legendary, on average you'll be doubling your capacity. Of course, you can't use speed beacons on them because the speed beacons, the speed modules also lower quality, minus 2.5% quality. It's interesting to think about. Oh, we've got a legendary egg. An epic egg, I should say. It's interesting to think about the trade-off between speed and quality in an upcycling system, whereby this is 11.3% quality now, but it is much, much faster. So even though you're processing, even though the likelihood of each individual egg being of high quality is lower, your average might end up being higher just because you're processing more eggs. Again, that is a PhD thesis' worth of maths that I'm just not going to do. I'm just going to go and get some epic and legendary crushers and assume that that will be fine. Alright, this is a really quick and dirty upcycler for this. It's not very good. Don't get me wrong, I'm not particularly proud of this, but it does work. While I was here, I thought I would bring the Glebber shuttle over and bring some stack inserters. I might have actually found a use for stack inserters, because of course, while we're doing this, we may as well also process this scrap a bit faster. But we're currently bottlenecked on processing the scrap by the fact that even though we've got green belts, we're only using one layer of the green belts, because we're doing it like this, which is also upsetting to me. Whereas if we use stack inserters, they will stack 4 layers high on the belt, turning a green belt from 60 items a second into 240 items a second. Don't get killed by lightning, please. Very far away. Very far away. And I've just been making stack inserters on Glebber for a little bit. Thank you. You may now return to... Do I want you to go all the way to Glebber? Yeah, you may as well. You may as well. It's not actually further away than Nauvis, despite what the map may show you. The space map has some sort of Mercator projection going on it that... it's very Nauvis-centric, isn't it? It's problematic, really, to be honest with you. Sorry, let's not bring even political satire into this, shall we? That's a bad idea. So let's upgrade these 2 stack inserters, and so now you'll see all of a sudden these are 4 high on the belt. Good lord. They have a stack size of 16, but they unload so much faster. That means we can process the scrap a lot faster. You can see here I've got a legendary recycler here processing the scrap. Very, very quickly in comparison to just a normal one with speed modules in. So hopefully that will help. So we'll do some cool stuff here. We got a few epic ones. Something is clearly not right with this. Ah yes, iron gear wheels, of course. Oh, this place is a mess. I can't wait to tear this all down. Be done with it. What have I gotten myself into here? Oh yeah, and of course, by asking this to bring over literally 4 times the amount of stuff that it was bringing over before, it is running out of power. So, I also end up crafting some big electric poles in higher quality, because these have a wire reach of 32. So if we go into Ghost Cursor mode and select a big electric pole, we can put one like here, and then that just about doesn't reach over to the island. Whereas if we get a rare quality one, it has enough to reach. You can see that once the logistics overlay goes away, that is enough to reach. And so then we can power this with all of these accumulators, basically. If I were smarter, I would have probably had Fulgora running this whole time to also make higher quality accumulators, because that probably would not have been too difficult. Because they only need, what, batteries and iron plates? High quality batteries would not have been hard to get. Because they recycle into... Oh no, they don't recycle into themselves. That's interesting. I really thought that they would have recycled into themselves because they are a chemical reaction. They are made in a chemical plant. But either way, it doesn't really matter. Getting iron... We can make high quality accumulators some other time, but power ends up not really being an issue regardless here. We can bridge this gap as well with some pylons that also lets us fill this entire space with accumulators, so it's not a problem. So basically I just spend a little bit of time here doing really tedious stuff like that. Trying to farm some high quality recyclers that we can use to sort of speed up this whole process here. So yeah, cool. And here it is, here's the egg gambling emporium, Fenton's egg gambling emporium. I also spend a bit of time gambling for high quality captive biter spawners because their crafting speed is also buffed by a non-trivial amount. I feel like uncommon and rares, you know, I know I just spent 2 minutes talking about how uncommon and rares were not really that good, but here they're okay, I guess. You could just build more of them, of course. That's also a valid option, just build more of them. Eggs go in, high quality eggs come out, you can't explain that. I also have an inserter here that pulses a signal to this speaker, so that no matter where I am in the world, I will get a very small alert. Here's your episodic, I have not used editor mode to check. I will get a small global alert that an legendary quality egg has made its way through the system. Did that work? Why did that not work? It literally was right there on the belt. Where did it... It did not get recycled. Surely it did not get recycled. These all have the correct filters on them. What happened? Where did it go? Egg. Legendary egg. Onto the belt. There it is. Why does that not work? Does it not work in editor mode? Read hand contents. This probably should be on hold rather than pulse. It definitely does work because I've been using it for like the next 10 hours of gameplay, so I don't understand why it suddenly stopped working. What have I changed? Volume. Global. Show alert. Show icon on map. Oh, biter egg legendary needs to be more than 0. Oh man, that's annoying. Oh man. There we go. Cha-ching. Stupid. Stupid. Okay. So, we can let this farm legendary eggs with which the asteroid farming shuttle is just bringing back to Now East some processing units, some advanced circuits, and some productivity module Mark IIs in the legendary quality, so that whenever we get an egg, we can instantly turn it into 1.5 productivity modules, of course, because of the built-in productivity bonus of the electromagnetic plant. So for every 2 eggs, we get 3 productivity module Mark IIIs. Okay, right. So we'll leave this running for a bit, and we'll go back to Vulcanus and we'll set up another legendary item production chain. Alright, so on Vulcanus we are automating legendary circuits of various tiers in just modest quantities for now, and some productivity module Mark IIs, which we can use. Productivity 2s in legendary, which we can use somewhere that we need them, while we're still waiting on egg gambling to sort itself out. Currently still bottlenecked by coal, just because that's bottlenecking plastic. We will be able to get more plastic once we get low density structure productivity up to 300%. Before 300%, there's not really much we can do about this. There's loads of low density structures on this. This design probably needs to be changed so that this picks up. No, this can stay as any, but then this needs to prioritize. These two need to prioritize epic, and this one needs to prioritize legendary. Because the problem here is that these are just always filled with a tier that isn't purple or gold, and so these inserters never insert another one that's not purple or gold. So once this, yeah, so that's better. Once this hits 0, then this should pick up a legendary one almost immediately, I'm sure. Yeah, there they are. That should clear the belt out. That's a small flaw in the design. Where did I put the legendary bricks? I put them nowhere. I thought I'd put legendary bricks in this save file. That's funny. Okay, that's a mistake on my save file naming. I just wanted to show you another quick experiment that I did. I stopped feeding... What's wrong with you? I stopped feeding this one Bioflux because I wanted to test whether using higher quality capture bot rockets gives you a higher quality captive biter spawner at the end of it. Because it seemed to me like maybe it would. I don't know. Maybe it would. Maybe it wouldn't. I don't know. I didn't know one way or the other. So, egg. That's the egg noise. I don't know how well you can hear that, but that's currently the egg noise. If you hear that reverse symbol thing, that's the. We have an egg noise. We've made 9 of them. Hooray! Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Alright, so this is now a regular biter spawner. It's still in the uncommon quality, so it is, funnily enough, spitting out uncommon quality biters. But I've got an epic capture bot rocket on me. And unfortunately, it does not make any difference. High quality capture bot rockets are irrelevant unless you're using them to upcycle. So there we go. That was a nice little experiment there. So this wasn't a complete waste of time, this save file. I don't know why. I don't know where my legendary bricks thing has gone. Sorry. It's very simple. It's a very simple build. You just have to make some copper and molten copper from lava. Output the legendary bricks, and then you can smelt some of those legendary stone rather into legendary bricks, and then you can use some of those legendary bricks in a foundry to make legendary concrete. You don't even need legendary iron ore if you do it like this. You don't need legendary water, of course, but we've got so much legendary ice that we just have absolutely nothing to do with that I am melting the legendary ice to make standard water, which I'm using for both the cold synthesis recipe, which is, now I've moved it a bit closer seeing as I've got water over here now, because you need water for the concrete. So we're just waiting for the asteroid farming thing to make its way back to Vulcanus, and here it is. I've expanded this. We were getting enough iron ore to warrant expanding this into a bit of a smelting stack. We're getting a lot more sulfur than we are getting carbon now, and ice. Obviously we've got loads of ice that we have no need for. It goes into absolutely nothing of value except for the cryogenic science packs, but okay, fine, whatever. Alright, the calcite comes over to the foundry via requester chest. I'm not too happy about the amount of where is the calcite? There it is. Sure, legendary prod modules, why not? Why not get even more stone? You get loads of stone, you get loads of bricks, you get loads of concrete. Like, this is free. It's free. And then you toss the carbon at the copper into the lava because you don't need it. The only reason you need it is because the only reason you need to even make it is because there's no way to get rid of the molten copper otherwise. So that's good. So we are still bottlenecked by legendary carbon, legendary coal. So I had the bright idea of going to Gleba, right? Like a fool, like a damn fool. Of going to Gleba. Because I thought, oh, you can get spoilage in vast, vast, vast quantities. Vast. Extremely niche Simpsons reference there. By upcycling nutrients, right? That must be free, you'd think. That's completely free. 40 nutrients from Bioflux. Surely that is extremely free. Did I not bring my... Oh, no, the Volcaner shell is also on Glebber as well. Look at this, look at this. He's prepared. Alright, you can go back now, thank you. You upcycle the nutrients into legendary nutrients. Then you wait for the legendary nutrients to spoil, because they then spoil into legendary spoilage. And then you can turn legendary spoilage into carbon, right? 6 spoilage, 1 carbon, a biochamber with some prod modules in. Like maybe that's viable. Forgot to drop off the prod modules while I was there. Thought I did. Thought I'd done that. Oh, I did. It was just before I built the cargo landing pad. Okay, right. Sorry. We're doing this one live, folks. I know some people like to see the whole process happen in front of their eyes, but I don't trust myself to be able to do that live very often. And I want these videos to not be a million hours long, so I often do it ahead of time, as you can tell. But whatever, I'm feeling a bit devil may care about this one today for whatever reason. Easy amount of nutrients here, loads of them. Just need to seed it with a bit of nutrients from somewhere else first. Whoa, that was... There we go. You should probably be a stack inserter, to be fair. May as well, when in Rome, right? You can either wait for this to turn into spoilage or just upcycle it now. Doesn't really make any difference. This will make 3,585 spoilage per minute before we've even thought about prod modules or anything. That is about 5 of these rare recyclers with some quality modules in, which I haven't got enough of to do, but like... but that will, on average, get you... So, there's only a 25% chance to get the nutrients out, right? The nutrient to spoilage recipe, nutrient recycling recipe is 2 nutrients. Hey, why does that say 2 nutrients recycling and then ingredients 1 nutrient? Whatever. You get some spoilage out of the nutrients, basically. We're not sure quite how much it is, because that seems to be a bit of another bug report. Let me just put these into boxes, just for demonstration purposes. Of course, we only want the legendary spoilage. Hello? Construction robots. What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, I'm in a blind spot. That's why. Because of my own personal Roboport is tricking me into thinking that that I'm in a construction network. See, this is why I don't do this stuff live. This is why I don't do it live. You wouldn't want to see it. Would not be off now Vase if I was doing this live like this. Distilling 100 hours of gameplay down into 18 hours like this seems a lot more sensible. So we only want the legendary spoilage, so if we do this... I know this isn't perfect. Ding! We got a ding! I've changed it to a ding because the reverse symbol noise was annoying me. Let's get rid of this one. Oh, going to have to get rid of more than that, because I should have brought more quality modules with me, really. The point is this doesn't work, alright? The point is that even if you upscale this, you actually end up using a hell of a lot of bioflux. 300 per minute is a lot. That is more than one of these modules makes. So you'd have to add a dedicated module for this, for the bioflux, which you could do, you know, you could do. Because we're not even using that many trees. The trees are on a certain condition to not work when there's a certain amount of fruit on the thing. We could, like, do a whole section of Gleba that was just spoilage. But it doesn't really work. Alright, we've got 2 legendary spoilage here already. But that will only make a third of 1 carbon. Slightly more than a third of 1 carbon because of the productivity bonus of the biochamber. We could get even more with these productivity module 2s, of course. But I actually built an entire setup for this, much bigger than this. It ran the bioflux dry, which caused a lot of issues, and it didn't even give me that much legendary carbon in the end of it. You know, this is not outputting much legendary carbon, but it is still producing more than, like, an entire green stacked belt of nutrients was getting me here. So I will upcycle spoilage when we come back to Gleba and we get Gleba into Mega Base territory, but I will use naturally occurring spoilage. I will use the spoilage that we are currently just sending into the trash here, or that's, you know, like, we're turning it into carbon here. I will just start with the legendary fruit, and we'll use that legendary spoilage from any of those processes that spoil. This, unfortunately, doesn't work. With the best will in the world, it doesn't work. We will need the legendary spoilage, of course, for legendary efficiency modules. I'm not quite sure how legendary efficiency modules are going to fit into this thing, because one legendary efficiency module is minus 125% power. The cap is minus 80% power, so, you know, what with energy being essentially free after the fusion reactor point of the game, I'm not entirely sure whether that would be very relevant. Legendary biosulfur, possibly relevant. Legendary carbon, possibly relevant for when we want legendary carbon fiber. I don't know, but for now, this ain't it. You'd be much better off, in my opinion, doubling up, tripling up this ship design. Here's the new ship design, by the way, with the extra iron ore, molten iron processing into ammo processing. Because for some reason we did hit a... Yeah, we were hitting bigger peaks here. For some reason. I don't know why. Not entirely sure why. I think we were just making more trips to more places more often, basically. Yeah, you'd be better off doubling, tripling up this ship design and only, like, having one that was dedicated to iron ore, so, like, having another set of these that was set for a reprocessing, asteroid reprocessing for the legendary tier, so that you've got more of a chance of spitting out the actual resource that you want. Which will also, we will definitely need to do that, because it's going to come to a point where we don't need any more legendary iron ore. Like, we've just got too much of that. And I'd much rather have a ship that was just stationary above a planet waiting for a request of iron ore than having this going backwards and forwards and being bottlenecked, like having the cargo bay completely full of legendary iron ore and therefore not be able to get any more legendary carbon or sulfur out or legendary calcite out, you know? If we don't need any more iron ore, then this ship, one version of the ship becomes, what's the word I want? Turned off. Sedentary. What's the word I want? inactive, I guess, while the other two versions of the ship, which have the other product, are still flying around. So, bit of a waste of time, I guess. There's another one. Whoop-de-doo. Bit of a waste of time, but I thought I would show that off as something that I did think about but doesn't work. It doesn't work. Sorry. So we're back on Vulcanus. I've put a fusion reactor down here because I have some plans. I have some plans for Vulcanus. You can see we've got so much legendary iron plates now. I believe the brick concrete system is completely backed up. Yeah, we got an entire chest of legendary bricks, 2 entire chests of legendary... Sorry, 1 of stone, 2 of bricks, 1 of concrete. I'm not even sure what I'm going to use all this for. Oh, we can make legendary recyclers without having to do the upcycling now, can't we? Can't make them here, we have to ship the stuff to Fulgora, but the point is we've got all of that stuff. We've got steel plates, gear wheels, processing units of concrete, so we can make loads of legendary recyclers, so that's good. What about bricks? Legendary electric furnaces? I mean, I guess. I guess we could make those if we really wanted to. Legendary stone? Nothing. There's actually no reason to keep legendary stone, is there? Because these are fluids, so these won't have a quality. So there's actually no reason to keep the legendary stone. Unless there's something I'm missing. Let me know in the comments if there's something I'm missing. You will also notice that I am a speedy boy now. Look at him go. I felt sad after my excursion on Gleba didn't really pan out, so I made some more legendary engine units, electric engine units, and used the steel plates and processing units we had to give myself some legendary exoskeletons. Each one of these is 1.5 times better than a common one, so we have increased our speed by quite a lot. I also just have buffed a bunch of stuff in this process, right? Like, legendary beacons have a much better distribution efficiency from 1.5 to 2.5. So I've sped that up. Just sped up these processes. You know, we're still bottlenecked by plastic. So the grand plan. Plastic will no longer be an issue as soon as we get low density structure productivity up to 300%. This is full of the highest grade of the creme de la creme de la creme of productivity modules, which are imparting a 100% productivity bonus. With the Foundry's natural 50% productivity bonus and the previous low density structure research we have, we're on 230% productivity. That means we need a mere 7 levels of low density structure productivity. Now, that's 86,000. So this will get us to productivity 9 will get us to 240, 250, 260, 270, 280, 290, 300, 437,000 science packs. We're currently on 470 science per minute if we're just exclusively doing this research, which we can do, of course. But that's not very good at all, is it? That is going to take literal years. We're still farming the prod modules. We do have a slight bonus to the science. This number is a bit higher than it was, because obviously now I've put the prod modules in the science as well, as and when we get more eggs. We need more eggs. We're also bottlenecked by eggs, so I've just doubled this up. And I don't know why I was using ammo turrets. Just use lasers, man. Just use lasers. What are we on? We're on laser weapons damage 9. So yeah, lasers should deal with any. Not that these have ever fired at all, ever. I think a couple of these fired because I accidentally left some eggs in here, and also the captive biter spawners spoil into behemoth biters as well. And that happened at the 100-hour mark. We've hit 100 hours, folks. He's the slowest player in the world. I just mong out. I just sit here on Factorio with something else on my second monitor, or I listen to tunes or whatever. You know, like, it's just... Right, so we can make... If we upscale metallurgic science packs to a decent amount with all of the goodies we now have, you know, we can make legendary beacons, we can make legendary quality modules, we can make legendary speed modules. Actually, that's not true. We don't need legendary speed modules. We can make legendary speed module 2s here on Vulcanus, in fact, and I'm already doing that. These have a speed bonus of 75%. So it shouldn't be too hard to, and I've cleared a bit of space here already, use this coal, this calcite, this tungsten ore patch to do the modest process of... Modest? That's the word of the day! The modest process of tungsten carbide, tungsten plate, and molten copper to make metallurgic science packs. Not legendary metallurgic science packs, just a lot of regular metallurgic science packs. Yes, a legendary science pack is worth 6 regular science packs. No, I don't have the ability to make legendary tungsten carbide or legendary tungsten plates at the moment. Eventually we will. For now, we won't. So that's the plan, is to just grind out low density structure productivity to get this to 300%. This will then cause an infinite supply of plastic, steel and copper to be sorted. We can then not worry about legendary carbon and sulfur from the asteroids as much, if at all. And we are laughing then, folks. We are absolutely laughing. So let's get to work. It's busted how easy it is to get an insane amount of stuff. How much science a minute do you reckon this is? 2 legendary... 2 foundries. Not legendary foundries, regular foundries, just with legendary prod modules in. A legendary beacon imparting... These are up to 16.6% crafting speed, 315% bonus. The answer is 500 a minute from this, from 2 of these. And then our labs, the biolabs have 100% productivity, they have 50% science drain. So what's that? 500, 50% science drain is 1,000, plus 100% productivity is 2,000. 2,000 science per minute here. And all this needs is a whole bunch of molten copper, some tungsten carbide, 597 tungsten carbide, which we need. I've got a cryogenic plant here making carbon, so that will be more than enough of that. No, once they get power, once the beacon is powered, this is enough. The only thing we are in need of is this tungsten ore, and this is protected by a medium demolisher. How's the medium demolisher going to stand up to this turret plan? The answer is not brilliantly. You just need to scale it up ever so slightly more. So you can still use this system. You remember from the very first time we were here, you can still use this, shoot the tail out. You just need a few more turrets, and you need to like do this to make sure that the turrets have the ammo. It somehow survived. It somehow survived, folks. Let's try that again in a bit more space. That should be better. There it goes. There we go. Just did it wrong the first time. Medium demolisher destroyed. If you're smart, you'll make some electronic turrets here. You'll make some Tesla turrets on Fulgora and you'll bring those instead, because the medium demolishers... is that true? The small demolishers have 30,000 health. Ding! That's an egg. Offer you an egg in this trying time. 50% physical bonus. A medium demolisher is 3 times as tanky as that, but only has 20% electric resistance, and the Tesla turrets go through the demolisher segments a lot easier. So let me just show you, if you were a smarter man than me and you loaded that save file, but you had, well, for one, you had, where's the electric energy interface? You had this, you brought some power along. Of course, this is a bit harder because if you bring the power along, then you're going to be building in the territory straight away. So it's a bit more awkward, but you wouldn't need that many Tesla turrets. Why have I put a pylon down and not a substation? You wouldn't need that many Tesla turrets to do the basically same amount of work, but you would just wait until, obviously you would wait until the demolisher was on this side of the territory instead, so that you wouldn't have to build loads of pylons into the territory. Wow, that's not going to work at all. These don't fire very fast, do they? Is this because I haven't done many levels of, I haven't done a huge amount of electric weapon damage. Yeah, that didn't really work. I honestly thought that would work really well. Okay, maybe just use the turrets then. How do destroyer capsules hold up? I'm not going to be able to find out because you can't throw a destroyer capsule in editor mode. This doesn't even count as building anything, does it? So he's not even annoyed. I'm on 100 max followers here. No, this isn't working either. Alright, there we go. Do it my way then, folks. Use the turrets. Use the turret system. You should have been grinding turret damage anyway for destroying asteroids. We're on physical projectile damage 11. Those were piercing ammo rounds as well, I should say, but those aren't very expensive. So just do it like that. Just do it like that. That's my analysis. Okay, right, so now we... In the real world, that medium demolisher has been destroyed, and we have access to this tungsten ore patch. So all we need to do is we need to plug in the tungsten ore, plug in the calcite to make the molten copper and iron, and we have a lot of science packs. This is it. This is your build. This is 500 science packs per minute, which translates to 2,000 science per minute back on NowVis in the biolabs with the productivity modules. Like, that's crazy. It's barely anything. Of course, we will need to go back to NowVis and grind out the exact same thing, design things exactly the same way. Well, maybe we don't go back to NowVis. Maybe we do this on Vulcanus as well, and we just send a ship backwards and forwards full of, like, 4,000 science a time. We might need to upscale rocket production if we do that. It might make more sense to do it on NowVis anyway, just because NowVis has the quality modules, the productivity modules, and we're already sending some stuff to make beacons. We could just send some other stuff to make beacons and do it all on NowVis. I don't know, I haven't quite worked it out, but obviously we need to make these on Vulcanus regardless. So we'll just start sending these down, and we'll grind out legendary density structures. So yeah, next time we'll do red, green, blue and purple science at about 2,000 a minute, I should say. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please let me know with a like or a comment, and if you want to see more broadcasts from Space Age, be sure to subscribe. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.